Hey there YouTube, this is Austin with Wreck to Death Disc Golf. Just doing a little bit of disc dyeing today, so I wanted to videotape the process and kind of show y'all what I do and the effect that it has, and I'm going to try out two new things today. One of them is I'm going to try out a splatter dye on this. This is a Fusion Suspect that I got at the Graham Creek Shootout. I'm gonna do like a blue, maybe blue and green, but I know blue for sure, splatter on this. I think it's gonna come out really nice. And then I'm gonna try a two-tone stencil dye. So this is, let's see if you can see that. It's a clone trooper from Star Wars. But I wasn't sure when I did this one, and this is on DX plastic, that's why it's all faded. But when I wasn't sure when I did this one how I would go about doing two-tone, but I think I've figured it out. So I'm going to give it a try and try to put Captain Rex on a tournament plastic disc so he'll last longer, and give him his blue little fox ears and the blue around the middle of the mask.
Okay, the first thing that you have to do is weed the image. So that basically just means taking all of the pieces of vinyl out of the design that were cut with the machine. So now just kind of comparing it to the original image. Just make sure, because sometimes it's hard to see pieces that have been cut out if you're not looking in the exact spot. I'm actually using a small screwdriver here instead of an actual weeding tool. I like having the sharp edge and the flat edge, and the screwdriver does everything else that the weeding tool does. Really, if you just have something that's pretty small and it comes to a point, you'll be able to use that.
Alright, so now I've taken out all the pieces that I want black on the disc. And then I've put that face down on the sticky side with a piece of contact paper. So now all I have to do is peel the back off of the vinyl.
Alright, you just want to make sure that you take your time with this. Because if you get too fast, you will rip parts of your vinyl off. Alright, so you really just have to make sure that your image is centered on the disc. And then from there, it's basically the same process as putting like a screen protector on a phone or a smart device. You just want to make sure you don't have any bubbles in there.
Alright. Now I've gotten all the bubbles that I'm worried about.
Alright, now you just get an X-Acto knife or a razor blade or something really sharp and cut around the stencil to remove the contact paper. So now once you remove this contact paper, the edges of your disc are protected from the dye. The edges of the vinyl are protected from the dye. And you're just exposing the parts of the disc where you want your dye to actually interact with the surface of the disc and create whatever design you're going for.
All right, there we go. Alright, so now the only thing that I kind of worry about when I do this is, you probably can't see it on the camera, but the lines where the hot stamp left an indentation on the plastic, where they run into the vinyl. Just always worried about them leaking through there and messing up my lines. I'm going to make an executive decision and take this piece out. Yeah.
So you're going to lay down some sort of work surface that you don't mind messing up if you get this this dye poly stuff on it, because evidently whatever you get this stuff in or on, it's going to be there forever, so just be careful. But put a little bit in, mix it up, put a little in, mix it up. This is me showing you the brand that I use, the dye poly. I got mine at Joann's, but it's my understanding you can get it on Amazon or any number of places. So just mixing. If you don't think it's dark enough, put in a little bit more and keep mixing. It's kind of hard to tell to begin with how much is enough. I've always just kind of erred on the side of darker is better, because just my designs that I've done, like I showed you that Captain Rex, I did a Boba Fett one on a 4S Wizard, so you can hardly see it anymore, but so I have a biohazard symbol, stuff like that. So all of the things that I've put on discs, it couldn't be too dark. So it just kind of depends on your design, though. You just want to make sure you mix it until it's a uniform color. You don't have any dots or flecks or streaks or anything like that in it, because it'll dye the disc that way if you do. So this mixture is a little bit thicker than what I've used in the past, just because I've used discs that I already had and just wiped the hot stamp with acetone. And so this is a tournament plastic warship that I'm putting Captain Rex on, but it had a hot stamp and I wiped it with acetone, but the hot stamping process still leaves indentions in the plastic, and I've just had problems with the dye running into those grooves and dyeing parts of the disc that I didn't mean to dye. So this is a Lucid Truth that I got from a tournament that I gave to my wife, and so I told her I would do one for her, and she picked a pineapple.
Alright, now I'm going to do the splatter. So I've filled up this ultimate disc with shaving cream, mixed with a little water to make it a little more smooth, and then got the top as smooth as I could with a flat edge. So what I'm going to do now, in these two cups, I'm going to mix blue and black, and then with this little syringe, I'm going to get some of the blue, sprinkle it around, then some of the black, sprinkle it around, and then take the disc, set it in there, and let it sit. So this is my first time doing the splatter, so we'll see what this ends up looking like.
Alright, so this is where I started thinking that it might be better to mix the dye with water first, even with the other technique that I showed y'all, just because it seemed to dissolve so well in the water. So mix the blue first, then the black, because it's not going to hurt the black to put the blue in it, but it will mess with the blue if you go black first. So dripping it all around. Again, blue first, then black. Drip it all around. Grab a toothpick, swirl it. Swirl it again. And then if you're not happy, put a bunch of streaks in it. Just kind of mix it up. You can push it down. And I'm going to push it down into it because I want the colors to spill over the edge, not just end at the edge. So,
all right, so just want to show you how they turned out. The pineapple one turned out pretty good, but the dye bled a little bit into the hot stamp up near the top, but it's not super noticeable. I wish it were a little darker, but that's okay. You can see the image clearly. The same thing with this one. There's a couple places here, down here, that the dye bled over into the hot stamp, but it's good enough. I mean, I'm throwing this. I'm not selling it to anybody, so it's not going to bother me. All right. So the two new things that I tried. The same thing happened with Captain Rex as happened with these two. You can, if I get really close, you can actually see the sail of the warship where the dye bled over into it. And again, that's fine. I was doing this mostly to test my theory on how to do the two-tone, and the two-tone ended up nice. You know, the blue is the blue kind of pops even, but you know, the places where the black bled over either into the hot stamp or around the edge of the vinyl cutout, you know, that's a problem I've been having. So so I did learn what I wanted to learn from this one, and just kind of further solidified that if you want to do a, you know, specific design like this, you really need to get one that hasn't been hot stamped. But if you have discs that are hot stamped and you want to dye, this splatter works fine with the hot stamp. It doesn't mess with the stamp at all. So I ended up doing blue and like a grayish with black flecks in it. So I meant to do blue and black, but I guess I didn't mix it up enough, or have enough in it, or you know, I don't know. But it ended up gray with kind of black flecks. And I think I kind of like the blue and the gray better than I would have liked the blue and the black. So really happy with this one. I've got another one that I tried that I'm trying to do an American flag design on it, but I wasn't sure about the blue and the red mixing into purple. You know, that really wouldn't really work. So but I did give it a go. I'm just doing the red first, and then I let that set, and then I'm going to come back over it and do the blue. And you know, I'll show y'all in a later video how that ends up. So so I got 4 more dyed discs. You know, I learned 2 new ways to dye. You know, the outcome, other than the splatter, the outcome wasn't perfect. But again, you know, these are discs that I'm throwing. I'm not selling them to anybody, so so it's not going to bother me that much. It's not going to change the flight of the disc. So, but yeah, I learned what I wanted to learn, and got a little bit more experience dyeing discs. So overall, I'm happy with it. If you like this video, like and subscribe. And I'll be coming out. I think the next video that we're gonna do, my wife actually bought me a gimbal, so we're gonna get some on the course video of me actually throwing, playing around, probably with Coach Frosty. So that'll be next. Be looking for that video, and thanks for watching.